After a statement by a Delhi Congress leader, which was subsequently withdrawn, she made the statement that they've been asked to prepare to fight in all 7 seats. That statement, of course, was subsequently withdrawn by this leader in question. The fact is that the Aam Aadmi Party has also now hit out at the Congress, saying that if this is going to be the spirit in which negotiations are going to happen for the India alliance, then it is a non-starter. Now, the largest question facing this motley group of 25 alliance parties is, will they be able to rein in the individual ambitions of each of these parties, some of them national, some of them regional, in order to put up a combined, unified force against the election juggernaut that is Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah's BJP. And if you're already seeing teething troubles 7 months before the Lok Sabha election, then what can you expect much closer and in the run-up to the election itself? But first, the story so far.
दिल्ली 19वां राज्य था, 24 कैसे जीतना है, और बिल्कुल आदेश हुआ है कि हमें 7 सीटों पर मजबूत संगठन के साथ हर नेता को आज से अभी से निकलना है। 7 महीने 7 सीटें हैं। ये बात हुई कि जिसकी दिल्ली उसका देश होता है, ये दिल्ली का इतिहास बताता है। इसलिए कहा गया कि बिल्कुल 7 पर तैयारी रखनी है।
थोड़ा और क्लैरिटी आने दीजिए, बट अगर आज अलका लांबा जी की बात को और उनके दिल्ली प्रेसिडेंट की बात को कांग्रेस की सच माना जाए, तो अगर उन्होंने डिसाइड कर लिया है कि दिल्ली में अलायंस नहीं करना, तो फिर इंडिया अलायंस की मीटिंग का कोई मीनिंग ही नहीं रह जाता। टॉप लीडरशिप डिसाइड करेगी कि हम ये मीटिंग अटेंड करते हैं या नहीं।
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, आई वुड लाइक टू क्लैरिफाई दैट दिस मीटिंग वाजंट for Lok Sabha election preparation. It was for organizational setup, how to revamp the party. This is absolutely incorrect that this meeting was for preparation of Lok Sabha election. And secondly, there wasn't any discussion about the seat sharing.
Now, it's not just a question of Delhi. Remember, Delhi just boils down to 7 seats. There are other bigger states which are at play where the Congress party may find itself in the crosshairs of other regional parties who are part of the India alliance. So let's break down where the problems are. Delhi, of course, like I said, the demand from the Congress party is that at least 2 seats, that is East Delhi and New Delhi, the Congress party feels the AAP should give it to the Congress to fight. In Uttar Pradesh, they of course want the traditional Gandhi seats of Raebareli and Amethi. Also, they want Allahabad and Sultanpur, where the Congress party has not won in a number of years. Also, we're given to understand that in states like Punjab, for example, where the Aam Aadmi Party is currently ruling, the Congress is seeking 11 out of 13 seats. Now, there is no way that the Aam Aadmi Party, with a 90-plus seat majority in the Assembly, would give 11 out of 13 seats in Punjab to the Congress party. Similarly, in West Bengal, the demand from the Congress is they need 5 specific seats. The best that Mamata Banerjee has said that she's willing to offer is 2. So how will they bridge the gap in the remaining 3? So these are just a handful of states where the Congress party will find itself in crosshairs or in collision with regional parties who are strong in those states. Also, there is, of course, the trouble of the Congress directly locked in a fight with the CPM and the LDF in Kerala. Similarly, the left and the TMC in Bengal are directly locked in a fight. So we'll get to all of that in just a moment with spokespersons of the India Alliance parties, as well as, of course, the BJP. Shehzad Poonawalla will be joining us here in our studios. I'm also joined by Anshu Lavajit, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Akshay Marathe, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Professor Sanjay Kumar is one of India's leading psephologists and co-director with Lokniti and CSDS. Let me start with you, Anshu Lavajit. Alka Lamba first came out and said कि हमें बोला गया है कि सातों सीट के लिए तैयारी करें. Subsequently, she's clarified that statement. Other leaders in your party have clarified that statement. But if a small state like Delhi, which has just 7 seats, can create so much confusion between two alliance partners in the India alliance, then what about when we get to bigger states? I talked about Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, etc. Do you already have the first signs of trouble in how you're going to divide up these seats between various competing alliance partners?
Absolutely, there is no confusion at all whatsoever, Zaka. The India alliance remains strong, it remains robust, it remains stable. The clarification has come out. When the clarification has come out from the Delhi in charge, there is no need for further to speak on the matter. The Delhi, the meeting that was held was a general sort of preparatory meeting as it's usually held to sort out or to draw out the broad contours of a strategy over the coming elections. As you might have noticed, Zaka, and thank you for the compliment, those flattering phrase of motley crew for the India alliance, it's well taken. But as you know, over the past few weeks, the Congress party have held, as regarding every state, a number of meetings regarding the forthcoming elections. It's supposed to be that way. I mean, every party is supposed to do that. After that clarification, there is nothing more to be said by the matter. And furthermore, any kind of negotiations that are held with regarding any sort of our strong alliance partners are usually not in this kind of a broad general meeting in which so many people are held, because this is a delicate matter and usually it's reserved for the high command when they send their emissaries. So
one second, I just want you to clarify and I'll go to the other guests right after that. So
Right.
Are you preparing for all 7 seats in Delhi or no?
No. I want you to pay attention to what the Delhi in charge, Mr. Babaria, came out and said. You know very well. I know the pressures in a newsroom to create stories only too well, Zaka. But there is, yeah, I know that pressure. But but let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. First, let me just clarify what he said. So, it would have been better if you played out the statement itself.
Sure.
Nothing of the sort discussed.
Sure.
Right?
Okay. I'll ask my producers to queue up that sound bite if we have. This is the Delhi in charge that you're talking about. Okay. But before that, let me ask Shehzad Poonawala. Shehzad, the Congress party is saying, and then subsequently there have been clarifications from the Aam Aadmi Party as well, that this was not the intent of what Alka Lamba was saying, or this was never said in the meeting, that they will find amicably a formula to fight the 7 seats of Delhi or other seats, other states where they may have competing interests with other India alliance partners. The point is that this is their internal problem. This is between those alliance parties to figure out. Why is the BJP relishing this so much?
First of all, look at the irony, Zaka, that just a few days ago they were bringing a no confidence against Mr. Modi. The people have full confidence, but the no confidence amongst themselves has been exposed. And if you remember, Amit Shah ji had rightly said that after the Delhi Services Bill, look at what happens. This Rajnaitik Nikah will go for triple talaq. And it's not just one Alka Lamba. Let me tell you, today, Anil Chaudhary, the president of the Delhi Congress, we will keep questioning Kejriwal over corruption liquor policy. This is today's statement. Mr. Sandeep Dikshit has made a statement today. Ajay Makan has. Dinesh Gundurao flew all the way from Bengaluru, came here and said that the Mohalla clinic model is third class. And forget just Aam Aadmi Party versus Congress Party. Please tell me, Zaka, TMC expressing no confidence in left over Jadavpur, Congress expressing no confidence in TMC in Panchayati Raj election, RLD not voting for the Delhi Services Bill, AAP versus Congress, Punjab to Delhi is obvious, Congress raising no confidence in Kerala over the corruption issues of Vijayan's daughter, Congress and Sena giving statements to your channel about Sharad Pawar. And apart from that, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu taking a matter of Cauvery to Supreme Court. Both have alliance partner governments. So this is not an issue that BJP is raising. But yes, we will definitely say that those who are bound not by mission and vision, only by commission, corruption, division, ambition for position and obsession with Modi is the reason why these people are falling apart like a pack of cards. I just have 1 or 2 questions more. Forget everything else. Mr. Avijit, is the Mohalla clinic world class or third class? And Mr. Marathe, please tell us that what is your position? Is the Congress party responsible for the 1984 riots? Because you run a government in Punjab, people of Punjab are watching.
Okay, Akshay Marathe, 2 points. One, right after this statement that was made by Alka Lamba, which she withdrew, your national spokesperson, the person in charge of spokespersons, Priyanka Kakkar came out and said that if this is the attitude of the Congress party towards alliance partners, then our leadership needs to take a call on whether we need to attend the next India Alliance meeting. This was the same sentiment that was echoed by a senior leader of your party, Mr. Dilip Pandey. Again, before the Bengaluru conference that happened of the India Alliance, Mr. Kejriwal had held up that entire meeting on getting the explicit backing of the Congress party for the Delhi or the services bill that was coming up in the parliament session. So if at every turn the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party are going to have these issues, these teething troubles, then why should the people of India take this alliance seriously, or at least some parties within that alliance seriously? Akshay Marathi.
Zaka, on the first question of why India should be taken seriously, I think the way that the media and the Bharatiya Janata Party are discussing such a small war of words between two parties that was resolved within hours of it happening, the way that this issue is getting attention on the national stage shows how seriously the BJP and also the media is taking the alliance that is called India. Because the BJP is also aware that if the AAP and Congress fight together in Delhi and Punjab, all 20 seats in those two states will be won by India and not by the Bharatiya Janata Party. So I can understand Mr. Shehzad Poonawala's stress and anxiety when the AAP and the Congress are actually coming together on one platform and putting up a united front. And it is also, I have to say, I really respect Mr. Poonawala for his straight-faced attitude when he talks about other alliances and how there are issues between them. When recently Om Prakash Rajbhar, who has joined the NDA now, has been giving the choicest of galis to none less than the Prime Minister himself. But today the BJP is accepting him with open arms.
Okay.
His party also has a very serious gangster against whom there are criminal charges. But Mr. Poonawala will now have to defend that gangster. Similarly, in Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar, who was supposed to be chakki pissing, are now honeymooning with the BJP. So, Mr. Poonawala should first answer his own party's contradictions and his own alliance's contradictions before pointing fingers at other people.
Yeah, I'll get him to respond to that. But one contention, before I come to Shehzad, one contention which Akshay Marathi raised, and I'm not sure that adds up or that's the way alliances work on the ground. And I want to ask Professor Sanjay Kumar this, as somebody who has tracked multiple elections in the past. In the 2019 Lok Sabha election in Delhi,
Yes.
the vote share of the BJP, and of course BJP won all 7 MP seats in Delhi, was 56%. Second was the Congress party, it had 22% vote share, and the Aam Aadmi Party had 18%. So even if you add the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress party, it comes to about 40%, which is about 16% less than what the BJP polled. Now, please help our viewers understand why in politics, as Akshay Marathi just said, just because AAP and Congress come together does not mean that the arithmetic will add up over and above what the BJP has got. And this is in 2019 as well as, of course, in 2014.
Zaka, you have already mentioned, even if you add up the votes of Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, in none of the 7 parliamentary constituencies of Delhi, their vote is going to surpass the BJP's vote. This is based on the 2019 Lok Sabha election. We keep talking that even if the two parties form an alliance, all the votes of the two parties don't get merged. We have seen that transferability is, maximum at the rate of say 80%, 85%. We are talking of transferring 100% votes of Congress and Aam Aadmi Party in all the constituency. Still we see that BJP would be leading because it's a very simple fact. All the 7 parliamentary constituency, BJP had won in Delhi with more than 50% votes. If a party has already got more than 50% vote, no matter X number of parties join hands against that party, they won't be able to defeat that. So BJP still is very, very strong in Delhi. Even if Aam Aadmi Party and Congress comes together, going by what has happened in 2019, I don't see this alliance succeeding in winning even one single seat in Delhi.
Okay. Akshay Marathi, quick response to that, then I'll come to Shehzad. Because there's a basic flaw in this idea that just because parties come together, that means it's a problem for the BJP.
Zaka, if all election analysis were to happen on the basis of the previous election, then why hold fresh elections at all? Clearly, there has been a mood shift between 2019 and 2024, and that is why these parties have come together, because they are
Okay.
sensing that there is anger against the BJP, and the power of unity is going to be able to defeat the BJP when that anger is on the
Okay,
ground.
the closest parallel that's being always cited by the India Alliance is what happened in 1977 when the opposition alliance came together and dislodged the mighty Indira Gandhi. So, Shehzad Poonawalla, it has happened. It's not like it's not happened in Indian politics where strong governments have been voted out by a bunch of parties coming together.
You know, irony is dying 1,000 deaths in your new studio. You're saying that the previous election can't be taken as a benchmark, but you're going all the way back to 77.
No, no. Elections have happened where alliances have come together and...
Well, Zaka, you know,
forget about 77, 2004, Mr.
but
Vajpayee's
now that
government.
you've invoked 77, let me just give you
no,
one
was
point on that.
dislodged by an alliance of parties.
Let me just give you one point on that, because Sanjay ji is sitting here, CSDS person is sitting here. In that alliance, they had a common agenda and a leader who had a pan-national presence. That movement was run under the name of JP. Who is the pan-national leader here? Or where is the pan-national party here? Now, let's not get diverted. Let me come to the points that Akshay Marathe says. First of all, you're absolutely right that they have not got more than 50% vote, even if you add the 2 votes in Delhi. In Punjab, by the way, they have sent 4 former ministers of Congress party to jail. They have come on a plank that the Congress party is the killer of Sikhs in Punjab. Now suddenly they do this artificial, unity in a room in Delhi, and you think the workers of Congress and Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab are going to unite? In
No,
Delhi,
but
they are going to unite.
how many MPs do you have from Punjab anyway?
It's not about us being MPs.
You had an alliance partner
Zaka,
there
you
for
are
the last
missing the key
25
for the
years.
woods.
No, once again. You had an alliance partner in Punjab for the last 25 years. What
I'll
happened
come
to
to
them?
that, Zaka, but let me make my point. The cogent point I'm trying to make is that SP and BSP also got together in an alliance with us. Did the workers and their vote bases unite? We in fact swept the elections. So this artificial meeting at the top, after abusing each other for 2 to 3 tons of bad words, and then you unite together on the ground, does not unite. Secondly,
No, one sec. So to answer
Just let me-
Akshay
just
Marathe,
very
to
quickly.
answer Akshay Marathe's question, which he asked you, if Ajit Pawar was chucky piecing till the last election and suddenly he's your alliance partner,
I'll come to that,
They
but
can
let
also
me
do the
make
same.
a-
They can also do the same
Zaka,
thing.
I will explain the difference between that situation and this, but let me complete a couple of more points, then I'll come to the Ajit Pawar situation, because I come from Maharashtra. First of all, they should know that it is not just a small war of words. Priyanka Kakkar's next part in that bite, which you've not played, so let me play it out, is this. And I want to know, because they've not answered my question either on the issue of they've not answered my question on the Mohalla clinics or on the issue of
Sikh riots.
yes, but here the statement that Priyanka Kakkar made. No, it's
वो हमारे से बार-बार अलायंस की बात करती थी क्योंकि कांग्रेस का दिल्ली में कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है.
कांग्रेस का दिल्ली में कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है. Is Anshul Avijit ready to recognize that they have no अस्तित्व left in Delhi? And as far as the situation Ajit Pawar is concerned, by the way, in 2014, long before Ajit Pawar joined our alliance, Mr. Sharad Pawar supported the BJP government when Shiv Sena was outside. Do you know this? In 2017, it was Mr. Sharad Pawar who wanted to ally with the BJP on the condition that Shiv Sena should be kicked out and they will ally with us. And Mr. Sharad Pawar is on record to say that NCP will support BJP in Maharashtra's interest. So from 2014 onwards, Mr. Sharad Pawar himself, no less, has realized that BJP is the natural party of Maharashtra.
Okay.
And therefore, they wanted to ally with us.
No,
But BJP has been saying NCP is the most corrupt party. If NCP is the most corrupt party, then in what face do you have Shehzad
See,
to
okay,
say that
I'll
we are
tell you.
okay to be
I'll
allied
answer
with
that
party?
also.
No,
I'll answer that.
one second.
You have said-
Let's move on from the whole Pawar
Because
question
you know
because
the issue has been sidetracked. Zaka, by that analogy,
Yeah.
let me just put the question once again. What is it that binds the two together? They have sent 4 ministers in Punjab to jail. Are their workers going to now unite? Aam Aadmi Party has called Congress the killer of Sikhs. Are they willing to let go of that position?
Anshul, Avijit, one second. Anshul, you know, there are 2 or 3 fundamental problems that the India alliance faces. One, as I explained, as Professor Sanjay Kumar explained, just because you add 2 and 2, it does not become 4 in politics. And it's a classic example is the situation in Delhi. You add both the vote shares of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, it is still not 1 or 2%. It's 15 percentage points less than what the BJP polled last time around. The second thing, and this is absolutely critical, particularly in the last few years where we have almost a presidential form of election, who is the face? People are increasingly voting for a face, a neta. And that neta, that leader, that chehra has to be identified before you go to the people. It can't be that we have 15 netas, and if in the situation that arises that we are in a position to form government, then we will decide. I think that's a politics of the 1990s. That's not a politics of 2024.
You are looking for a face, Zaka. The newsrooms are scrambling for a face because they want to discredit a particular alliance. Nobody else is.
The
How do you know
people
which
are, Anshul. You're going to the people, not to the newsrooms.
No, hang on a minute. No, let me complete, Zaka. Let me complete. Give me a chance to complete. By using that kind of analogy about Delhi and then discrediting the alliance of AAP and the Congress party, I can use a similar analogy of 2019, where the BJP, or rather Modi, because Mr. Modi says that main hi bhari hu akela sabke liye or something like that. When he was the face of the BJP, they got over 37% of the votes. The rest of the votes, which is over 63%, went to the opposition. If you accumulate that and put it in this kind of perspective, then the opposition will win hands down. By going by that logic, that doesn't mean anything. Right? So you have to keep away this kind of logic. My friend Shahzad's, kind of breathless litany of statements and counter statements about opposition leaders, about India leaders, and also interspersed with his kind of very, very stunning poetry. I mean, I don't have that kind of skills, Shahzad. I won't be able to reply you in that kind of vein. But it only betrays a kind of deep-seated paranoia in this government, in the BJP, where the Prime Minister himself, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, or whether it's in Parliament, makes all kinds of undemocratic and demeaning statements like comparing the India Alliance to a terrorist organization. Right? Can you believe it? That the Prime Minister of the largest democracy in the world is calling this a terrorist organization. And then
when has he done that?
A defrauding company. Wait a minute, Jazad, come on. I give you all the chance for your poetry. I rather enjoy it. I'm looking forward to another round.
Okay.
So
I'll give you something more also. Don't look forward just to the poetry. I'll give you some acronyms also.
Thank you. Yeah.
Please carry on.
Let me just complete. The Prime Minister in Red Fort, which is supposed to be a more statesman-like approach to politics from the pulpits of that, he succumbed to his three favorite words, newly acquired vocabulary, I can't even repeat them, and then hit out on the opposition. He did it in G20 in Bali. He's going to do it again when it's coming up. It is the BJP that is continuously fighting.
One second, Anshul, none of this has answered my question.
But they're so scared.
None of this has answered. None of this, Anshul, has answered two of my. Two of my fundamental questions. One,
half a second.
This whole question of vote transfer, you haven't explained how that's going to take place on the ground. And second, the question of Chehra. And Shehzad has a point, in as much as in the 77 election, there was the face of Jayaprakash Narayan. He became the face of the anti-Indira alliance. Anyway, be that as it may, I just one second, Shehzad. I want to go back to Professor Sanjay Kumar, and I think this whole alliance arithmetic not adding up. We have a classic example in UP in the last election in 2019, where it was thought that SP and BSP coming together would be almost in excess of 50% votes, and therefore they would be a formidable competition to the BJP. Ultimately, BJP had 61 or 62, and the SP-BSP alliance had less than 20. Even within that, and I'm sure your post-poll CSDS studies would have showed you this, the SP voter was far more inclined to voting for a BSP candidate than a BSP voter was inclined to voting for an SP candidate. Can you explain why?
See, it would be difficult to figure out whether BSP's voters voted for Samajwadi Party or not. But look at if you take a deep dive and look at the constituencies which were won by BSP. These were the constituency which has sizable number of Muslim voters and the Dalit voters. So what happens is that if you look at the Muslim voters, they are bound to vote against the BJP given the current mood of the Muslim voters. So what happened is that, yes, the transfer of votes took place more or less equally. Yadavs or the Samajwadi Party core supporters did vote for BSP, and BSP supporters also in more or less similar proportion voted for Samajwadi Party. But if you look at the constituencies, when it came to distributing which party is going to contest from which constituency, I think BSP was clever enough to claim those constituency which has a sizable number of Muslim voters, and that contributed to BSP's victory, like winning 10 seats compared to Samajwadi Party's only 5 seats.
5 seats, yeah.
That was the situation. we did not get a sense that Dalits did not vote in favor of Samajwadi Party and only Yadav shifted their vote for BSP. There was slight difference in the degree of transferable of vote, but it is only about the Muslim vote in these constituencies.
Okay, so Shehzad, let's not go back to 1977. The 2004 election was a classic election. Again, you had a strong leader on the one side, you had a strong government, you had an economy that was racing ahead, you had India shining. And then you had, and I repeat this at the cost of offending my friend Anshul about this motley group of parties, which defeated Mr. Vajpayee's government.
Yeah.
So it has happened numerous times in the past.
Thank you for bringing that up. In fact, let me go one election even beyond that. Even the 1998-99 victory of NDA was an alliance victory. In these alliances, the 2004-2009 alliance or the 99 alliance, all the parties had a pan-national leader, Sonia Gandhi in their case, Atal Bihari Vajpayee in our case, a pan-national party, BJP in our case, Congress in their case.
You don't think Rahul Gandhi is a pan-national leader?
1 second, I'll tell you why. I'm coming to that next line.
You don't think so?
Zakir, next line I'm answering that because I can estimate your questions.
Okay.
Now forget me estimating. What I think of Rahul Gandhi is well known. I don't want to say it. Anshul will feel offended. What Priyanka Kakkar, Chief National Spokesperson, thinks, I'll tell you that tweet. अगर देश बचाना है तो सबसे पहले कांग्रेस को बोल देना चाहिए कि तीसरी बार भी राहुल गांधी पर दाव ना लगाएं और समूचे विपक्ष पर यह दबाव ना डालें. देश हित में संविधान बचाने से भी ऊपर.
No, when is this tweet?
This is 24th of June 2023.
Okay.
Very recent.
Okay.
Abhi ka. When she became Chief National Spokesperson. Let me now, last 10 seconds to complete. My dear friend Anshul, Mr. Modi spoke about dynasty, Bhrashtachar and Tushtikaran. Why have you taken it personally? In the ramparts, he did not take any party's name. He said these three bad things. But if you have accepted that these are new, then that is your problem. And since you like my poetry, Anshul, poetry आपको पसंद है इसलिए सुन लीजिए. I can't give you one more poetry, but I can tell you what INDIA stands for. Incredibly negative, divided, internally alliance. And therefore the country is saying इनको नहीं देगा India अवसर.
Okay, Anshul,
Okay.
you know, on the point of the leader, again and again it is being stressed.
Can I respond?
It's being stressed again and again that in 2004 you had a leader in Sonia Gandhi, whereas it is not the BJP's belief that Rahul Gandhi matches her stature in 2024 as she did in 2004. And therefore, the question the people will ask you is, who is the leader of this alliance?
In a parliamentary system, as you well know, Zaka, the insistence on a presidential style is yours. It's coming from the media. It's coming from the BJP because it suits them. This kind of trying to cause dissensions within a particular alliance is the paranoia and the objective of the BJP. When they want to mask
sorry
their
to
own
interrupt you. I will never do that. And you know that I have great regard for you. Priyanka Kakkar has tweeted that Rahul shouldn't be the face.
Okay,
nobody went asking her.
Let's not interrupt. Let him finish.
Word you say as much as the Prime Minister's word, which I'm forced to, and that is a punishment for me not listening to you, Shehzad. So let me be clear on that point. The Prime Minister wishes to mask the inadequacies of this particular government, and therefore you're continuously calling on what are the so-called make-believe sort of dissensions between and the allegations or the counter-allegations between this particular alliance. Listen, inflation is on the boil. It's 7.44%. You've got record high unemployment.
Rajasthan has highest inflation. This is not the subject of debate today. Priyanka Kakkar has tweeted this.
But Anshul, can I just ask? No, one second.
The economy has been wrecked. It's been thrown under a bus.
Anshul, can I ask? And I think Professor Sanjay Kumar will also bear with me on this. There is clearly a differential in the BJP's vote share in the same set of states between a parliamentary election and an assembly election. Let's take Karnataka, the latest state, right, which the Congress party won. The BJP had a 36% vote share. Even though they lost, they got about 60 or 65 seats. Whereas in that same Karnataka, in the 2019 election, they had an over 50% vote share. What explains that differential? To my mind, that differential can only be explained by the fact that you have a leader who's running on that ticket on whose face they're voting. The face matters to the average voter. Correct me if I'm wrong, Professor Sanjay Kumar.
No. Absolutely, you're right. If you look at, it's not only about Karnataka, we can take examples of several other states and look at the votes polled by BJP in a state assembly election. And when the Lok Sabha elections take place, Delhi is a clear example, and there are several other examples of that kind. And what contributes to BJP's vote share jumping up drastically in the Lok Sabha election? That's Prime Minister Modi's popularity. That's Prime Minister Modi pulling vote for the BJP. And Zaka, one more thing. We've been talking about 2024 and comparing it with 2004. But there is a huge difference. I keep saying 2024 is not 2004. The difference is in 2004, even though Congress was out of power, but Congress vote share was much higher compared to BJP's vote share.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Congress vote share was 27% and BJP was in power with 23.5% vote. Situation in 2024 is very, very different. Congress is with 19% vote and BJP is sitting with 37% vote. There are several other examples. Prime Minister Modi is far more popular compared to Vajpayee, who was also a very popular Prime Minister of that kind. And I'm citing this data. In our opinion poll, we got Prime Minister Modi being endorsed by 44% of the people of this country to be seen as the next Prime Minister. Vajpayee's popularity went up to 37%. There are several other contrasts.
Okay.
So I keep saying 2024 is not 2004.
Okay, so Akshay Marathe, and I've got final few minutes to close out this debate. Okay, let's forget about leader. Let's forget about transferability of votes from one party to another. The biggest sort of point that you need to convince the people of India is, what are you offering? Just going to the people and saying that is aadmi ko hatana hai, desh ko bachana hai, that's not a message that's going to have resonance. That's even in 2004, since we are taking the 2004 example, the message was that India shining is only for a few. For the rest of them, and I remember the Congress's slogan from the 2004 election was Congress ka haath Aam Aadmi ke saath. And I'm sure your party's name derived itself from that slogan. But the point is, what is the alternative that you're offering?
Zaka, I completely agree with you that an alliance will only work if there is an alternative economic vision that we are offering to the people of India. And my party's leader, Arvind Kejriwal, just addressed the people of Delhi yesterday in his Independence Day address. And he did present an alternative vision. He did talk about how we can make India's education, healthcare, power sector, employment and business sectors prosper so that we can build a new India that is working for everybody, not just for the corporations that the BJP supports. So we do have an economic vision. The question now is, how do we make an economic vision that works for all parties in the alliance? And Zaka, you know how these things work. Alliances have to put together a common minimum program. They work together, they put their heads together, they put their best minds together, work out a negotiation and work out what they believe is a common minimum agenda that the country will accept. And we believe that we have what it takes. Our government in Delhi has shown that we can work towards the welfare of the people. Our government in Punjab is showing that. And similarly, all opposition parties who have state governments in their own states will also show and put their best foot forward. And this is the reason that this time the alliance is not about defeating Mr. Modi. The alliance is about giving an alternative to Mr. Modi's bad governance and bad politics.
Shehzad Poonawalla, there are problems in this country. It's not like there are no problems, right? Inflation is a real problem. Even the figure that came out just 2 days back, 7.44% is a 15-month high. Unemployment is a genuine problem. Now, the India Alliance parties may or may not be able to solve any of these problems, but to say that everything that your government has done has turned into gold is wrong. There is anti-incumbency.
Zaka, because Mr. Marathe cited his party's or his leader's economic model as the economic model, let me tell you that this is the same economic model which the Congress is opposing in Punjab, saying that it's driven Punjab to bankruptcy. And the same world-class health model has been questioned by Dinesh Gundu Rao, who flew especially from Bengaluru to come here and say that this is a third-class model, and forget anybody else. Today, the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs in the assembly themselves, including Mr. Bhupinder Singh Joon or Mr. Rituraj, have been questioning the same model. So I don't know how many people are buying that model, leave alone people of India. Congress and your own leaders are not buying it. Secondly, as far as the inflation or Berozgari, let's compare 10% inflation during Avijit's time. Now it's 4.5. Yes, this month it has crossed 7.44, but there also Rajasthan is number one. Telangana is there in the top 3. other Congress
Delhi
states
has the
are there in the
lowest
top 4.
inflation.
One second,
Come
don't interrupt,
on.
sir.
Delhi
Please
has
don't
the
interrupt.
economy is
Please don't
wrecked.
interrupt, Akshay. I do not
Bhatti,
interrupt you.
okay,
Please don't
nobody
interrupt.
actually
One at a
reads
time,
the
please.
economy.
One at a time.
It's not
Akshay, I
even
gave you
included in
your
the
closing
list.
comment.
Interrupting? It's my turn
I gave
to
you your
speak.
closing
I'm
comment. Let him
speaking
finish.
against two people.
Yeah, let him finish.
Secondly,
No,
on
no, I'm returning the
unemployment,
paper,
let's talk about unemployment. 20% plus in Rajasthan. What is the unemployment rate in Delhi? It's above the national average. And in Uttar Pradesh, it's 2.5%. In Gujarat, it is 1.52%. So where is the unemployment coming from? Where is the Mehngai coming from? Go and see. We are happy to debate on this. But my point is not this. The point tonight is that even the Congress is not buying them on any of their policies. And finally, what is their common position on 370? Aam Aadmi Party supports its abrogation. Congress says we'll reimpose it. Since they are saying a common minimum program, tell us the common position on this. Chalo.
Okay.
Batao.
All right. I've got to wrap up at that. The point is, like I said, there are three very critical elements in any election that any party or alliance needs to convince the people of India with. One, of course, the question of leader, that's not going to go away. The question of transfer of votes is absolutely essential. And the third thing is, of course, this issue of whether or not there is a common messaging or there is an alternative that is being offered by this alliance. It can't just be that we want to get rid of this government or we want to get rid of this party. There has to be what is it that you are offering as an alternative, because that is what sells. That is what voters vote for, not just a vision or an idea that so-and-so is bad for democracy or so-and-so is bad for the country, so-and-so is bad for politics in this country, and therefore he or she needs to be removed. But let me now move on to the other story, and this is a big political battle that has erupted between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and this is on the issue of releasing Cauvery water to the state of Tamil Nadu. Now remember, this is on the back of a Supreme Court decision. Tamil Nadu government has approached the Supreme Court asking for Cauvery waters to be dispersed by Karnataka. The opposition BJP in Karnataka has criticized the Congress government under Siddaramaiah, accusing it of betraying the interests of the state's farmers for political gains and to safeguard the India alliance ahead of the 2024 elections. The Congress, on the other hand, is citing the fact that these are Supreme Court orders. It has been given by a Cauvery Water Tribunal that has awarded 177 TMC feet of water to Tamil Nadu to be released every year. And they have accused the BJP of politicizing this issue. But in an election year, water wars are a very, very potent electoral subject. It is a reminder that when politics mingles with natural resources, the consequences are felt far beyond the political arena.
This is unprecedented and uncalled for. I don't know what is the briefing to the Deputy CM and Water Resource Minister Shivkumar. See, basically they should have put up our case very strongly in CWMA, where Water Management Authority will look into the releases of water. Tamil Nadu is supposed to use 32 TMC of water. They use 60 TMC for Cauvery crop.
All right, before we get into our debate tonight, and it's going to be a face-off between the opposition party and the ruling party, here's what the Supreme Court said in its Water Tribunal order. This was in 2018. It announced the verdict on the Cauvery water sharing dispute, where it said that the Cauvery is a national asset. It needs to be shared between individual entities or states. No single state could claim ownership over the Cauvery waters. It also said, and this was the award that was given to Tamil Nadu, that Karnataka must release 177.25 TMC feet of water to Tamil Nadu in a normal water year. Karnataka's contention is that this is not a normal water year. The monsoon has been deficient. Karnataka is entitled to a marginal relief if it happens to be not a normal year. It also directed the formation of the Cauvery Water Management Board, which of course would be adjudicating and allocating the water every year from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu. Now, let me go across to our guests who are joining us on this. Brijesh Kallappa is an advocate with the Supreme Court. In fact, he was part of the team that represented the Karnataka government in 2018 when this dispute was finally settled by the Supreme Court. Sudha Halkai is spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Brijesh Kallappa, the charge by the BJP is that the Congress government is letting down the farmers of the Cauvery Basin area, particularly the farmers of Mandya, by releasing water to Tamil Nadu in excess of what it is expected to give, and that too in a year where the monsoon has been deficient. Your response?
See, Zaka, I don't hold a brief for the government. I don't represent the government. And in fact, I've held a brief for the state, even when the BJP was in power. So I don't want to make it a party versus party kind of thing. But I'd only like to say this, that if the answer to this very short charge is that the CWMA works directly under the central government. So if the CWMA wants us to release certain amounts of water, then the state government has to do it. So I think let's keep the politics aside for a while. And I'd only like to say a couple of things. That since 2018, since the judgment of the Supreme Court of India, the water has been flowing to the Tamil Nadu and there has been no issue. In 2023, for the first time, we have a water deficit here, and perhaps it may not be water deficit because in the next 1 week, it's said that there may be heavy monsoon. So therefore, I think this 40% deficit that we are staring at now may also kind of be ameliorated. Therefore, this may not be a water deficit here in that sense. 2. 3 is, I think as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, I think it's important for them to kind of look at how much of water has actually flowed between 2018 and 2023, because the annual share of Karnataka ought to have been about 178 TMC. And far beyond that, I think to the extent of 260, 270 TMC has flown into Tamil Nadu in all these 4 or 5 years. Now, point is that the only reason all of this water, extra water, is wasted to the sea is because there is no place where extra storage can be done. And this is exactly the contention of Karnataka, that look, there is a beautiful project which is called the Mekidatu project. Let's have a storage there, and during the deficit years, let us have some, storage. Let it be released to Tamil Nadu during the deficit years. Now, for instance, 10 TMC, which Karnataka has released. Let us release this water during the deficit years. So let this be some kind of a storage tank which will hold waters during the surplus years.
So let me ask
this, for
Dr.
argument
Sudha
for
Halkai,
some reason has not been accepted by Tamil Nadu.
Let me ask Dr. Sudha Halkai that 2023 is not the first year that Karnataka is releasing Cauvery waters to Tamil Nadu. From 2018, when the tribunal settled this matter and the Supreme Court gave its verdict, from 2018 for the last 5 years, water has been released as per that same Supreme Court order. Why are you politicizing this just because you find yourself in opposition and you need to find some kind of friction point between the Congress and its alliance partner, the DMK, which is ruling in the state government in Tamil Nadu? Dr. Halkai.
Zaka, let me put some light into what you have told now. First and foremost is I feel that the present Congress government has taken an oath to finish off the interest of the farmers in our state. First thing, they have snatched the 4,000 rupees which was given by the state government as a Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana. They have taken up that. There are hundreds of farmers who have committed suicide in this past 3 months. Not a single committee is formed to look into the grievances. Not even a single time either the CM or the Deputy Chief Minister addressed the farmers and said that please tell us your grievances. We are there for you. Don't cut off your life like that. And there are the joint directors of the Agriculture Department who have come up with a letter claiming for the corruption for their transfers, and they, in fact, it is a serious grievance what they have told, that if action is not taken, they will commit suicide along with their family members. And now look at it, their transit at the time of drought, there is 50% less rainfall in our state. Right now, we don't know about the future monsoon. Right now, our state is in the state of drought. So now it is not fair enough to give the water to Tamil Nadu, where the dams of Mittur and Bhavani Sagar are filled properly. They have sufficient water. They have adequate water. They are not in scarcity of water. Just for the sake of demanding, they're demanding, and just for the sake of giving, we shouldn't give. And our government is elected. That is, the Karnataka Congress government is elected with a thumping majority by the votes of these people. They have to consider their interest. Why aren't they considering their interest?
No, but ma'am, you still haven't answered my question. That when BJP was in power, you released normal water
We
flow.
didn't have drought. We didn't have drought.
Water flow
We
for
didn't
5
have-
years. Suddenly, only 1 year
Yes,
you have a
yes,
problem
Zaka.
because you are not in.
Zaka,
You're not in
Zaka,
the
today,
ruling.
I've told you. Right now, our state is in the drought. Okay, future monsoon we can't predict. We cannot predict anything. Right now, our farmers are not having sufficient water. There is scarcity of water. I've told you 50% less rainfall has taken place in this monsoon. So isn't it
ma'am, what
a
about the
time when we
point,
have to
and
look
I'll
into
go
the
back to
interest of our farmers?
Brijesh Kalapa after that in just 1 second. What about the point that he made? The Water Management Authority was constituted by the Supreme Court. It has central government employees. All that the state government needed to do was to convince the CWMA that because this is a drought year, please allow us to release less water.
Exactly.
But why is the central government run by the BJP and the state BJP not able to impress the central government appointed CWMA?
Right now, it is the duty of the Congress government to appeal to the Central Water Board Committee regarding this matter. It is not, in spite of we being in the opposition, we are constructive, we are for the farmers. I have told we have given 4,000 rupees, we had given 2 rupees hike for the milk farmers, and every Honorable Yediyurappa ji has given that. We have come up with the highest farmer favoring schemes in Karnataka, and that was very much appreciable. And what I'm seeing in these past 3 years, everything is against the farmers. They are always into appeasing politics, either for their elections or for the allied parties for the coming Lok Sabha elections. How far is this good? And
So,
all
Brijesh, how
tariffs
does this charge of appeasement sit? That because the DMK is an alliance partner and 2024 is very much upon us, the India alliance can only work if the Congress takes a slight step back and then allows some of the regional parties to dominate or make their voices heard. Therefore, the charge being that you're appeasing one of your alliance partners. That's why the Congress government is releasing extra water.
No, I think the charge is too simplistic and it's too frivolous. So I better not comment on that. But one thing I must point out, Zaka, since we are on the subjects of river water disputes, there has been a decision of the Krishna Water Disputes Tribunal passed in 2010. Then the review, that is a 5-3, that is a final order, was passed in 2013. And Karnataka has been able to raise its water share from 734 to 911. 1. 2 is that it is also able to raise its gate height in Almaty from 519.6 to 524.256, right? Now, who has to ensure that this helps? And you must understand that in northern Karnataka, people generally vote for the BJP. Now, my learned friend from the BJP is here. The central government has not been able to notify this decision for the last 10 years. And now she's speaking about all kinds of things.
Sir,
10 long years, the people of North Karnataka have lost over 1,000 TMC of water thanks to the fact that the central government hasn't notified this decision. All it requires, it's a decision of the Krishna Water Disputes Tribunal passed in 2013. Mr. Modi has been in office since 2014. And she's speaking of water rights. Over 1,000 TMC has been wasted. Over 1,000 TMC has been wasted. This is perhaps, the BJP is perhaps the only party which doesn't facilitate a direct interaction of the state with the center. I think if she can just tell us that let her organize an all-party meeting which will be headed by the Prime Minister. Why don't they organize that?
Okay, Dr. Alkai, respond and then I have to close out the debate after this. Yeah, Dr. Alkai, please.
I'll tell you one thing. They have been very selective in choosing what the central government does and what. Recently, yesterday only, they have rejected the NEP and they want to come up with the SEP. And now whatever the state government is saying, they accept that. It is according to their will and wish, according to their conveniences, according to their appeasement politics, they accept how it is. It is not according to the grievances of the people of Karnataka. and what their necessity is. It is according to their politics. It is very simple and it is very clear to the public of Karnataka.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Dr. Sudha Halkai and Brijesh Kalapa, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see how this progresses. We're really hoping that the rain returns to a degree of normalcy. At least the farmers of both states deserve a normal rainfall, as it were. As incessant rains continue across parts of Himachal Pradesh, resulting in massive damage to buildings and properties and, of course, loss of lives. Over the last 3 days, over 60 people have also died, particularly in Shimla and Mandi. These are the worst affected districts. Over 600 roads have been blocked, including some key highways, the Shimla-Chandigarh highway. In fact, CNN News 18's Yash has been sending us reports constantly from ground zero as to just how badly things have been affected in the hill state of Himachal Pradesh. We're going to play out some of his reports. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll catch you again tomorrow night, same time.
बहुत ही कठिन समय है आप लोगों के लिए। मैं देख रहा हूँ पूरा घर जिस तरीके से इफेक्टेड है आपका। आप क्या उस समय घर पे थे?
हाँ जी, घर पे ही थे हम लोग। बेसिकली हमारा घर दूसरी जगह है, लेकिन जो हमारा होम घर है वो यहीं है। तो हम सब लोग, ये मेरा परिवार है पूरा, तो मैं 3 जगह की त्रासदी झेल रही हूँ। जहाँ ये घर है वो भी खतरे में है, ये गांव पूरा मेरा। दूसरी जगह जहाँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट हमीरपुर में बना है वो भी सारी सिरखट जो है वो मेरे घर में घुस गई है। तीसरी जगह जहाँ बेटी की शादी की है वो भी उसमें रेड जोन में खाली करवा दिए गए हैं, वो भी दूसरों के घर में शेल्टर लिए हुए हैं। तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि हमारी मानसिक स्थिति जो है इस समय बहुत दर्दनीय है और दुखनीय है। अब रात को नींदें नहीं आ रही हैं, वही मंजर सामने आ रहे हैं। और इतना देख के हम, मेरी जो बहू है वो उस समय बेचारी 8th मंथ था प्रेगनेंसी में, तो उसको हमने जेसीबी लगवा के तब उसको बाहर निकाला। तो इतना भयानक वो दृश्य था कि अभी भी रात को सो नहीं हम लोग पा रहे हैं और मेंटली मतलब इतने डिस्टर्ब हो चुके हैं कि कुछ नहीं नज़र आ रहा है। और एक तो सब कुछ घर बार लुट गए, ऊपर से सारा रेड जोन में अभी तक कोई भी प्रशासनिक अधिकारी जो है वो उस पर एक्शन नहीं ले रहे हैं कि मतलब वहाँ आए और कुछ उसका जेसीबी भेज के या कुछ सेव करें लोगों को, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है।
Cloudburst which took place in Mandi on 13th of August has resulted in something like this. You can see how this entire hill has collapsed, and in fact the landslide was reported in the early hours of the 13th of August around 6 a.m. In fact, you can see from up to that very point that cloudburst took place, and after that cloudburst the water gushed in with so much speed that it got all these rocks with it. And in fact, this is a scary scenario playing out over here, destroying many homes and in fact affecting around 150 families. This entire area has been classified as a red zone by the authorities. Yes, the authorities has given a red zone, has marked this area as red zone, but as per the locals, nobody paid visit to this very site. This is Zukain Panchayat, and in fact this is in Mandi town, and you can see how the situation has turned back. The water is continuously coming down from up the hill, and in fact it's going down there to that very spot. I'll show you the visuals from that place as well. You can see how situation is bad over here in Mandi. This was the home which was actually damaged by these very flash floods which occurred due to that very cloud burst.
You know, Alka Lamba first came out and said कि हमें बोला गया है कि 7 सीट के लिए तैयारी करें. Subsequently, she's clarified that statement. Other leaders in your party have clarified that statement. But if a small state like Delhi, which has just 7 seats, can create so much confusion between two alliance partners in the India alliance, then what about when we get to bigger states? I talked about Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, etc. Do you already have the first signs of trouble in how you're going to divide up these seats between various competing alliance partners?
Absolutely, there is no confusion at all whatsoever, Zaka. the India alliance remains strong, it remains robust, it remains stable. The clarification has come out. When the clarification has come out from the Delhi in charge, there is no need for further to speak on the matter. The Delhi, the meeting that was held was a general sort of preparatory meeting as it's usually held to sort out or to draw out the broad contours of a strategy over the coming elections. As you might have noticed, Zaka, and thank you for the compliment, those flattering phrase of motley crew for the India alliance, it's well taken. But as you know, over the past few weeks, the Congress party have held, as regarding every state, a number of meetings regarding the forthcoming elections. It's supposed to be that way. I mean, every party is supposed to do that. After that clarification, there is nothing more to be said by the matter. And furthermore, any kind of negotiations that are held with regarding any sort of our strong alliance partners are usually not in this kind of a broad general meeting in which so many people are held, because this is a delicate matter and usually it's reserved for the high command when they send their emissaries. So
one second, I just want you to clarify, and I'll go to the other guests right after that. So are you preparing for all 7 seats in Delhi or no?
No. I want you to pay attention to what the Delhi in charge, Mr. Babaria, came out and said. You know very well. I know the pressures in a newsroom to create stories only too well, Zaka. But there is, I know that pressure. But let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. First, let me just clarify what he said. So, it would have been better if you played out the statement itself. Sure. Nothing of the sort discussed.
Sure. Right? Okay. I'll ask my producers to cue up that sound bite if we have. This is the Delhi in charge that you're talking about. Okay. But before that, let me ask Shehzad Poonawala. Shehzad, the Congress party is saying, and then subsequently there have been clarifications from the Aam Aadmi Party as well, that this was not the intent of what Alka Lamba was saying, or this was never said in the meeting, that they will find amicably a formula to fight the 7 seats of Delhi or other seats, other states where they may have competing interests with other India alliance partners. The point is that this is their internal problem. This is between those alliance parties to figure out. Why is the BJP relishing this so much?
First of all, look at the irony, Zaka, that just a few days ago they were bringing a no confidence against Mr. Modi. The people have full confidence, but the no confidence amongst themselves has been exposed. And if you remember, Amit Shah ji had rightly said that after the Delhi Services Bill, look at what happens. This Rajnaitik Nikah will go for triple talaq. And it's not just one Alka Lamba. Let me tell you, today, Anil Chaudhary, the president of the Delhi Congress, we will keep questioning Kejriwal over corruption liquor policy. This is today's statement. Mr. Sandeep Dikshit has made a statement today. Ajay Makan has. Dinesh Gundurao flew all the way from Bengaluru, came here and said that the Mohalla Clinic model is third class. And forget just Aam Aadmi Party versus Congress Party. Please tell me, Zaka, TMC expressing no confidence in left over Jadavpur, Congress expressing no confidence in TMC in Panchayati Raj election, RLD not voting for the Delhi Services Bill, AAP versus Congress, Punjab to Delhi is obvious, Congress raising no confidence in Kerala over the corruption issues of Vijayan's daughter, Congress and Sena giving statements to your channel about Sharad Pawar. And apart from that, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu taking a matter of Cauvery to Supreme Court. Both have alliance partner governments. So this is not an issue that BJP is raising. But yes, we will definitely say that those who are bound not by mission and vision, only by commission, corruption, division, ambition for position and obsession with Modi is the reason why these people are falling apart like a pack of cards. I just have 1 or 2 questions more. Forget everything else. Mr. Avijit, is the Mohalla Clinic world class or third class? And Mr. Marathe, please tell us that what is your position? Is the Congress party responsible for the 1984 riots? Because you run a government in Punjab, people of Punjab are watching.
Okay, Akshay Marathe, 2 points. One, right after this statement that was made by Alka Lamba, which she withdrew, your national spokesperson, the person in charge of spokespersons, Priyanka Kakkar came out and said that if this is the attitude of the Congress party towards alliance partners, then our leadership needs to take a call on whether we need to attend the next India alliance meeting. This was the same sentiment that was echoed by a senior leader of your party, Mr. Dilip Pandey. Again, before the Bengaluru conference that happened of the India alliance, Mr. Kejriwal had held up that entire meeting on getting the explicit backing of the Congress party for the Delhi or the services bill that was coming up in the parliament session. So if at every turn the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party are going to have these issues, these teething troubles, then why should the people of India take this alliance seriously, or at least some parties within that alliance seriously? Akshay Marathi.
Zaka, on the first question of why India should be taken seriously, I think the way that the media and the Bharatiya Janata Party are discussing such a small war of words between two parties that was resolved within.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. If you're watching us from India, tomato prices are hurting you. If you're watching us from Indonesia, you know coffee prices are shooting up. In fact, wherever you are in the world, chocolate, rice and wheat have become more expensive. Do you know that all these stories are linked? They're all linked to one story. The story that most of you don't like to watch. I'm not saying this, our data is. Climate change is hurting all of us, yet most of us remain indifferent to it. In the latest update, Nepal has sent an SOS to India. They want rice and sugar. China, despite all its problems, domestic problems meanwhile, is busy needling its neighbours, this time with an air base on a disputed island. In other news, is the stock market crashing? Some big players have made very big bets on a crash. Superpower America is going after its women. Access to their most widely used abortion pill has been further restricted. The Taliban says political parties are against the Sharia law, so they're banning them. Singapore is in the news for a Hollywood-style police raid, and the world is tuning out of cable television. Streaming is now the name of the game. We'll show you the numbers, the headlines first. US approves Israel's defense deal with Germany. This clears the way for the sale of the Arrow 3 hypersonic missile defense system to Berlin. It's Israel's biggest military deal, worth over $3 billion. The Arrow 3 system is jointly developed and produced by Israel and the US. Libyan militia leader freed after deadly clashes. Mahmoud Hamza was being held by a rival faction. His detention led to gun battles on the streets of the capital. More than 50 people were killed in the violence in Tripoli this week. Iran's foreign minister is in Riyadh.